Oh yeah, it's closing day, guys. How's it going? Zach Ginn, Flip with Rick here, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you exactly what to do and what to expect on closing day when it finally arrives and you're ready to get paid in real estate wholesaling. I'm going to share exactly the title company process, how to deal with closing agents, so you can be as prepared as possible in the real estate wholesaling process. Whoa. Before we get into it, before I share with you my title company secrets, and really I'm just going to give you a nice guide today on closings and title companies in general. Really good to have this knowledge. Please smash that like button and subscribe to get more valuable content from me and Rick here at Flip with Rick. Really quickly, let's go over the wholesaling real estate process so we understand kind of what we've been going through to get to this step here, because we're sort of at the end of the step here in real estate wholesaling. So remember, we marketed to a motivated seller, bandit signs, cold calling, direct mail, whatever we did to find a motivated seller, someone who's willing to sell the property due to a circumstance where they're willing to trade equity for cash. We set the appointment with them. We go meet them and we get a contract signed. We went to flipwithrick.com/contract, got the free wholesaling contract that I provide absolutely for free. Also, my free assignment of contracts included in there too. Next, we get the contract signed. And then after that, we give our earnest money deposit. It can be as little as $10. I recommend $100, but if it's a better deal, maybe $500 to $1,000. We bring that over to the title company so we have a nice paper trail of the whole transaction so we don't get screwed out of the deal. Next, we talk to our cash buyers. We find cash buyers if we don't have any. We walk them through the property, and once they're good with it, we're going to use that free contract I did, again, flipwithrick.com/contract, and we'll have our free assignment of contract pretty easily right there. And we're going to assign that contract for a profit. We're going to get the best price possible. And then we're at closing day. This is the day where us real estate wholesalers, we get our money and we get paid. So this is the most exciting part. So when it comes to closing days and title companies and closing agents, you really got to ask yourself, what is a title company? What do they do? Why are they getting paid? And most importantly, I have no idea what's going on the closing day process. And don't worry, I'm here to hold your hand and really explain the process as well as possible. So a title company basically checks for liens, back taxes, or what we call in real estate encumbrances. And encumbrance is basically something that will stop the transaction of real estate from being closed on. Let's say I have a second mortgage, a third mortgage, I have a crazy HOA lien, something nutty, a code violation that's really stopping the process of getting closed, something that's got to get resolved before the property gets closed. And basically that title company is a third-party intermediary. They provide title insurance to the cash buyer, so they'll have title pretty much nice and clean. You don't have to use a title company, but if you have a legitimate cash buyer, they're going to want to do it 100% of the time. And really, again, the most important part about a title company is that is where we're getting paid. Now, yes, in truth, we're getting paid from the cash buyer. That is the person we're paying, but the cash buyer does give all the money for the closing to the title company, and then the title company disperses the funds to the seller and then me. So Technically, the cash buyer gives us the money, but really, in essence, the check is from the title company. So basically, the process that this would work again is if I have a motivated seller, I sign a contract for $100,000. I go to a cash buyer. They agree to buy the property for $120,000. We, in essence, would have a $20,000 assignment fee. So what the cash buyer would do is on closing day, they'll give $120,000 to the title company. Now, the title company will give $100,000 to the seller and $20,000 to me for my assignment fee. Now, what is a closing technically? A closing, again, is the final step in a real estate transaction. Basically, that is the end of a real estate transaction. So the ownership is being transferred from the motivated seller to the cash buyer. Now, next here is how do I find a good title company? And in this video above me will be the perfect explanation on how to find a really good title company. If you're doing virtual wholesaling, this would be a really good one too. And really, more or less on that video, you have to call around, call a bunch of title companies, seeing if they are wholesaling friendly, if they know how to do double closings or they're comfortable with them. Rick really breaks down the right questions you have to go meet the title company and ask them so you know you have the right title company so you have no issues when it comes to closing day. And to really know the right vetting questions to ask the title company, this video is the perfect one to do. This is that is the perfect video to watch it on. Next here is the closing agent. So we're going to be dealing with a closing agent. The title company is not a person, that is a company. Usually they are assigned to the case of our assignment, our wholesale deal here, and they will be the person who is contacting the seller, contacting the cash buyer, and us on how does everyone get their payments. So the closing agent really is going to get the motivated seller's payment information, checking the title, seeing if there's any issues. They'll work together on getting that solved. The closing agent will talk to the cash buyer. They'll never have the cash buyer talk to the motivated seller. Don't worry. That's part of the vetting questions that we need to ask them. And they're going to get the wires and everything from the cash buyer. They do all that crazy work. Don't even worry about it. And then at the end, they're going to talk to us, making sure that I'm talking to the cash buyer and the seller both. And we get a date set up for the closing. We're ready to go. And lastly, my payment information, one of the most exciting parts. I always, in essence, here's a quick rule. I always make sure the cash buyer pays for all the closing costs, gives us the best leverage when getting the best prices out of the motivated sellers. So I always make the cash buyer in wholesaling real estate pay for the closing costs. Trust me on this one. You'll make the most money in profit in wholesaling real estate if you make the cash buyer pay for all the closing costs. Now, on closing day, there's not really anything for us to sign. We're not selling our property. We're not buying a property. We're basically just getting a check. So technically, you don't even have to be at the closing on the specific date. You can go a week later and pick up your check. Just make sure that the transaction went through. But it's always best to go there with the seller because we want to get these two things. We want to get our money. We love the money, but we also want to get a testimonial. We can either get paid from a check or a wire. Really, this video above me kind of explains it a little better. There's big differences, but if you're making your first $100,000 in real estate wholesaling, pick up that check, get the testimonial. It's super important to do that because it gives you credibility. When I started real estate wholesaling at 17, 18, I didn't want any credibility issues with my age. I had a lot squeakier voice, trust me. And so I wanted testimonials, and it's very important to get them. So I recommend you go pick up a check. Once you get more money, you can always get the wire to you. Certain bank accounts, you don't have to pay for wiring fees. So really it's a yin and a yang, but I recommend when you're starting out, get a check first. Next here is the testimonial. Testimonial, again, gives you that credibility. Basically, that's why you want to coordinate with the motivated seller when they're going to the title company. So they say, hey, we're signing everything at 9 a.m. on Friday. Great. So you want to be at the title company at 8:45, 8:50 before the motivated seller's there. Go with them in the closing transaction and make sure they sign everything. And they're going to ask, Zach, why aren't you signing your thing? Basically, hey, I've already signed everything I needed to. Everything's being taken care of. And from there, you're going to pick up a check after everything. But most importantly, when they're done signing, what you're going to do is ask the motivated seller if they're okay with shooting a quick video testimonial on their experience working with me. 9 times out of 10, they will be 100% okay with it. And just shoot a quick video asking the motivated seller what their experience working with you, if the process went through and they actually sold their home, showing that you at a young age actually can do it. Then I want you to post those videos because trust me, when you're dealing with motivated sellers and they get your full name, they're going to look you up on Facebook, online, everywhere. So it's very important that you have a little bit of an online presence showing that you're actually buying properties cash and you're helping the motivated sellers with their issues. And lastly here, if you're into virtual wholesaling, obviously you can't go pick up the checks. You're going to have to get the checks mailed to you. You can't really do that testimonial issue, but not really a big deal. You can still do these closings all virtually. Don't even worry about it. You'll probably have the title company locally, so the motivated seller get everything signed pretty easily, but you'll get a check mailed to you or you get something wired. Not the end of the world. Make sure you still watch those videos on vetting the right title companies, especially in your virtual wholesaling market, and making sure that you find the right ones. So that's really it, guys. That is my expectation video you should really have on closing day. It's not that complicated. It's not crazy. You're not doing an insane amount of work for wholesaling real estate. Should be easy. Should be an exciting day for you. I remember my first closing day like it was yesterday, 4 years ago. Get goosebumps every time thinking about it. But yet, that is it, guys. That is what you should expect on closing day. Let me know your thoughts on closing days and what your experience is with it and see how similar my stories are with yours. Love to know. Comment it below. And again, if you got any value out of this video at all, please smash that like button and subscribe. Thank you guys so much and have a blessed day.